Hey, I'm Shaily and you're watching Eat Breathe Books. Hi everyone! Sorry, it's really hot in here, but I can't crack open a window because it'll make a ton of noise, so bear with me as I film this super hot video where I talk about the books that I finished reading in May. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first one is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This is a YA contemporary romance, and this is definitely a reread for me, if you know me at all. This one is about a girl in her senior year of high school, and it's set in Paris. So it's about her at a boarding school for a year. It takes us through the year. You know, the friends she makes, the love she feels, her just being in the city of light. It's just so much fun to dive back into this world and feel like I'm in Paris for a little bit. So if you're looking for a nice study abroad story, this is definitely it. The next one is also a reread, and that's The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I love this trilogy growing up, and Amazon Prime is dropping a series based on it on June 17th based on the first book, and I'm so excited for it. If you don't know what this is about a girl named Isabel, but everybody calls her Belly, and she basically goes to the same beach town every summer with her family and her mom's best friend's family, and she has a relationship, you know, with the sons of that family. She may be closer to one than the other. She may have a crush on one of them, and basically it takes us through the present day and but also in the past of like how the relationship has got to where it is now. And the vibes in this book are just so good. Like if you're looking like for the summer book, this is definitely the summer book. It just gives you all the feels and it'll make you wish that you lived in a small beach town too. This is my last reread for this video. It's Judy Moody. This is the first Judy Moody book. Judy Moody is in a Mood by McDonald. I love this book growing up as a kid, and I just reread it with a book club that I have in my community with some sweet young girls. I finally got to introduce them to Judy Moody, and they all really enjoyed it, which I was super happy about. This is a great series, and I really love that the protagonist she has this dream of wanting to be a doctor, and she's only in 3rd grade, so it's cool to just introduce that concept to young girls that, you know, they can go into STEM if that's what they wish to do. But it's also lighthearted and fun and silly, and it's just a really good time. I really love the voice of the author in this book. I love all the caps that she uses, like the caps lock. Just, it makes everything so much funnier, and I just really enjoyed getting to reread this. The next book I just had to read because I'm excited to watch the Netflix adaptation, and that's Along for the Ride by Sarah Dessen. I read a couple Sarah Dessen books before. I read this Lullaby, I love that one. Lock and Key, That Summer. I've read a good chunk of the rest of the story, but this one I really love. This is Along for the Ride, and it's about a girl who basically grew up around adults her whole life. She didn't really have like a typical kind of childhood. She just grew up really fast, and so now it's the summer and she's at this beach town, I love beach towns, with her dad and his new wife and baby, and she's basically experiencing a different kind of summer than she's had. She doesn't have her mom around, you know, she doesn't have her influence, and she basically becomes friends with people her age, falls for a guy her own age. They spend their nights together because they both have insomnia, and she basically gets this childhood that she never really realized she was missing. She didn't know that it was something to miss. And so it was really nice getting to read about that, and I'm just so excited to watch the Netflix adaptation, which is already out. I just haven't watched it yet. The next book that I have is A Chauffeur 2 by Tashie Bhuiyan. I was so excited for this book to come out. This is her second book. Her first book is Counting Down With You, which I have. I don't know if you could see it, but back here. And yeah, this one is about a girl who is living in New York City. It's her senior year of high school, and she's almost done. She's just waiting on her acceptance to SCA, which is the USC School of Cinematic Arts in California. So she wants to run away from home. She doesn't really get along with her parents, though she does get along with her younger sister, but she wants to leave. She thinks going to California is the answer for everything, not just to get into film, but just to get away from everything that bothers her. But things aren't so easy, and things go for a turn when she basically bumps into this guy who's an up-and-coming actor who's gonna be in a big like franchise. Basically, this story is based on Tashie's own experience in high school when Tom Holland went undercover, I guess to kind of learn what it's like to be a kid in high school before starting to film the Spider-Man movie. So he wasn't super famous yet, but you know, she knew it was Tom Holland, but he was still kind of like undercover as a student. So this inspired that. So this actor goes undercover at her school, though they don't get off on the right foot. They both really need each other's help, so they kind of have to hang out together, and she really starts questioning, you know, what it is she wants, and does she really hate New York City that much or not? So I really enjoyed that theme in this book, and it was just nice getting to read another book from Tashie Bhuiyan. So yeah, this is a YA contemporary romance as well. Here we have When We Were Then by Laura Taylor Namey. If you know me, you know I love A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. That book is so good. This one did not disappoint either. The writing in this was so beautiful. This is told in the present tense and in the past tense. I've been noticing that lately I have been reading a lot of books that jump in time, which is really interesting. Maybe I'll write one like that. But yeah, this is about a girl, and she has two best friends. They're in high school, senior year is about to end, but she did something. We don't know what that is at the beginning of the book, but she did something that basically broke up the friendship, and the friends gave her an ultimatum and they said, like, you have to give us a good answer for what you did, not a silly answer, but a real, true, honest answer by the end of the week, or we're never gonna be friends again. And so she's searching and searching and searching and trying to like figure out like why she did what she did and what answer she actually should give them to what we don't know what's going on, obviously. And yeah, and then it jumps back in time. Like she has like flashbacks to when they were friends, when they were younger, and everything's supposed to connect together. And as you can see, she's holding like this chest in her hands, and that's full of these like items from all their memories together, and she's like searching through the box for an answer. I would read this literally for the pretty writing alone, but it is just so good. It's just different. You know those books that are just like different? This is one of them for sure. And finally, for a new adult, this is Every Summer After by Carley Fortune. This is a debut novel, very recently came out. Emily Henry raved about it. With good reason. This is so good. Gosh, literally from the first few pages, I already knew that I was gonna love this. A lot of people pitch this as a cross between The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han and Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, and I agree, and I'll tell you why. It's about this, well, now she's 30, but about this girl who grew up going to a beach house in a beach town every summer, lives next door to two boys, two brothers, falls for one of them. But it's also similar to Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, because then she and the guy and like his family don't talk for years, I think like 12 years. So it jumps back and forth in time, like then and now. It was just really good and really romantic, and I love the writing and I love the atmosphere. And yeah, now she's gonna basically be seeing them again for the first time after so many years. I just really enjoyed this one, and I definitely see why people have been raving about it so much. It definitely lives up to the hype, and I love this cover. The Canadian cover is really cute too, but I really like this one. Those are all of the books that I have to show y'all today. These are the books that I finished reading in May. I did start reading some in April and May, but I haven't finished reading them yet, so I will not be talking about them until I'm done reading them. But comment down below letting me know if you've read any of these books, no spoilers obviously, or if you have any recommendations. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and like the video because it helps me out and it lets me know that you like this kind of content. And I will talk to you all soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!